When starting a new business, why would anyone try to go it alone when there is an entire ecosystem ready to help? This is an episode of UNICOM Plus podcast, and today we are discussing how entrepreneurship communities like Turku Startup Hub, BoostTurku, and University of Turku's own Konttori can support people in becoming entrepreneurs. Joining the conversation today are Indiamara Claudino, who has been building startup communities in Tampere and Turku, now working at the heart of Turku Startup Hub, and Tanja Holm, co-founder of Environmental Impacts Academy, an experienced entrepreneur who has seen the growth and change of these communities. My name is Antti Nuutinen, supporting entrepreneurship at University of Turku full-time. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are most welcome to be here today. So, when talking about these communities, many people are so hesitant to take the first step, joining in. I'm very interested in hearing how did two of you join these communities the first time. Would you like to start, Indiamara?
Yes, so actually I got involved with the entrepreneurship community, more specifically startup community, back in Tampere when I was still a student, and I got involved with Tribe Tampere, which is the startup community of Tampere. So there I got exposed to the startup ecosystem of Tampere, and as I moved to Turku, here I literally just Googled startup communities, and I found out about Boost. I messaged some people, got some replies, was more than welcome to join Boost, not as only attending the events, but as well as a volunteer. And after a while, I became part of BoostTurku, which is an initiative under Boost.
I immediately have one question, because I have heard this story before, a bit differently. I heard that you arrived at SparkUp.
Yes.
How did that story go?
So when you Google search startup community, SparkUp still shows up as a result of the Google search. However, SparkUp's no longer between us. And I reached out to Business Turku, and there I got advised to join Boost. And I messaged some people from Boost, and that's how I got involved specifically, more explicit.
Perfect.
My story actually also starts in SparkUp. So that's something we have in common.
So when it existed.
Yeah, when it existed. My first connection to SparkUp is over 10 years ago, when I was still in university. I did an entrepreneurship course there. But then when I started my second business, almost 4 years ago, I became more active in the Turku startup scene again. And my first step to joining was that I just found the spaces where I could go and work with other entrepreneurs, meet other people, and building and becoming part of the ecosystem happened quite gradually, quite naturally, because I was in the same space as other people. And so it was, I had coffee with someone, I had a short chat, and I was step by step, I was getting more and more involved, and the latest involvement was with Boost Her as well in the mentoring program. So I think finding that one place where you can meet like-minded people is very important.
Yes, that is true. And it doesn't take as much as putting yourself in those places or searching to be there and talking to somebody.
Yeah, I think that's very important to understand that. We can say that, we have all these communities. We used to have a SparkUp. We have places, but the places aren't the communities. It's the people. It's the people. Yeah. It's not enough that, hey, here I am. Where's the community?
Yeah. Yes.
You need to put yourself into the mindset that, hey, yes, these are my people. This is the community.
That is true.
Yeah. You also need the spaces.
Yeah. That is true as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to have a meeting place where those conversations can start to happen.
Yes.
We need to have a place that collects like-minded people.
I call that the enablers, and I always say that Tampere tribe community in specific has been my enabler to get involved with the startup ecosystem in Finland now that I'm in Turku.
Yeah, we can use many words to describe the group of people who are doing the same same things, ecosystems, communities. Well, today we are going to call them communities.
Yeah.
But basically, like-minded people who have the same, somewhat aligned goals of becoming better entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, now we have established that you have been part of these communities and you both are very happy. I myself have also been part of these communities for a long time on the both sides of the table as somebody who has been enabled and nowadays as the enabler. Funny word. What could you give in the beginning of this podcast? What have been the most concrete benefits that for yourselves?
Actually,
Yes.
when Tanja was talking about how she met like-minded people and she could share and talk to them, find a space where allows her to be herself, that's like the most concrete beneficial thing for me as a foreign coming to Finland. That it's really hard to find those places where you can be yourself. You're not in your home country, right? So it's different culture, it's different language, it's different people. And finding those places seems almost like an impossible task in the beginning, if you think. But then when you start breaking down and trying to find these places, you actually see that they are available. And it isn't nothing stopping you to take that step to be in there. Nobody's stopping you at the door and saying you're not welcome here. They actually more than welcome you and they're so receptive. And keeps on the foreign perspective, being exposed to the Finnish culture, because there's a lot of internationals in startup community, but you do also have Finnish people and you get exposed to the Finnish culture in small dose and even more important to the local culture. And that to me was so meaningful considering that I'm living in another country, different than mine. I lived in another city and moved to a new one where I knew nobody. So I would say that even creating a kind of a safety net for me, that was the most beneficial thing that I could take in from being part of the community.
So getting this sense of belonging somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And having people who you can share things with.
Yes.
Because you have the same kind of, most of the time, same kind of mindset. That, hey,
exactly.
let's do things. We can do things.
Yes. Belonging and allowing myself to be there.
Yeah.
Would you accept with India on this idea that you get the sense of belonging?
Yeah, I would say that spaces where there are a lot of startup-minded people do offer a different types of support than other spaces or professional spaces in general. People who are startup-minded often are more open to discussing, and kind of you can throw out these maybe in your head crazy ideas, but then you are not met with, oh, what's that? Or like you're not met with doubt, but you are met with encouragement, or maybe even they are throwing some gasoline on the fire so that you can
keep going. I want to see this car crash.
Yeah. So definitely, I think there is a different level of support, especially in the spaces where people are working towards startup entrepreneurship. For sure, and looking to scale their business. It's a different mindset than like solo entrepreneurship, for example. In my experience, yeah, it's
It's like a big club that everybody is welcome to. But I wanna skip a couple of questions here, and we will come back to those. But because you touched on the topic that coming from somewhere else than Turku. There's a question here about Turku wants to be international. Turku needs to be international. But what is actually available for international friends and talent when they are looking for, they want to start a business. They have this mindset. They are sharing the mindset with us. Let's do stuff. What's available for them?
There is a lot available, I would say, but you need to look for it. I would say that in Turku there's certain kind of mystery of what's going on here till you start wondering. and you start finding answers, and you start meeting people that direct you some way or another to other people or to other places. And there is so many, from student side to research side to expert side to professionals or people wanting to change their career, or people that have a crazy idea and are afraid to speak up. There are so much spaces that allow all those people to be there, take space, speak up. And if I would go into examples, there's plenty of different events in all segments, from panel of discussions to workshops to investment talks and
Social events.
Yes, social events. There's
Parties.
So much more than that, because there is accelerator programs and there is specific segments and taking on these programs. So it's never the same, even though the aspects keep there, because we're talking about startup culture. So some things will always be there when you talk about product development or the market validation and so on. But the dynamic change a lot. So there is a little bit of everything to everyone, I would say.
Yeah.
But you say that, okay, well, we know because we are inside the club.
Yes.
We know there's a lot happening. But you started by saying that it's a bit hidden.
It is.
It's a bit hidden. How could we make it not hidden?
Well, I do believe that since I arrived almost a year ago here. It has changed already. It's more in your face when you're here. When I arrived, I had to Google. It wasn't there in my face.
Yeah.
But things are happening in Turku, and it's being more market. So I believe like this outreach, this talking, being out there, putting these programs to people, promoting more, would be the way that people could find easier. However, you can just Google and you're going to find it.
We are, by the way, doing this outreach here. Right now, this is outreach. You just need to listen to this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will tell you things.
Yeah. I think from my point of view also, I see in my work, I see so many fantastic internationals who have come to Finland maybe for studies, but then they're looking for opportunities and work. And this might be a hot take, but I always say that Finnish companies are crazy for not hiring all of these wonderful talents that come to Finland, because I see in my work, I always see amazing CVs, amazing backgrounds. People are like so passionate about what they do, and still, somehow they are not finding what they are looking for. And so I think on a Finnish level, I think we need to get better at being more open to all of this amazing talent that comes here, and invite them and provide opportunities for them, because I am seeing from my point of view, they are like fantastic. Everyone that I'm speaking to with an international background, they are like so passionate, so incredible. So I have only had very positive experiences working with internationals.
Let's say that it's a huge issue that international talent, they just cannot get jobs. Could we say that, okay, by belonging to these communities, hey, you network, you meet new people, you create, it's a community. In communities, you meet people.
Yeah.
By meeting people, you have better chances of meeting somebody you are hiring.
Yeah.
Tanja's company is hiring. Yes, we can say that, I can say that, I make the rules here. But when you are in the club, it's so much easier
Yes.
to get the opportunities also. Would we agree on that?
I would definitely agree on that, and especially when you start hanging out in Konttori or in any of these other places, and you start doing maybe work with Boost or anyone else, you become more confident, and then you get the networks. But I think startups are also looking for like very specific talent, and you need to find quite a good like person fit also early on. And so having those like conversations with the people really, really helps at the same time as you're kind of building your skill set. So definitely.
And I would go a little further than beyond talking. I did what my way of get involved in network was that I got involved in the core team of BoostTurku, in the founding team. So I actually started doing things for the community, and there I could showcase my skills. I could showcase what I can do, what I am able to do, and I could discover from myself what I'm good at and what I want, where I want to go, what I want to do. And when you can do that, when you can show that through something, you can execute that and show people the questions that should we hire internationals because we're finished, they don't have the language or something, they become much less quieter questions in the heads of others. Because they start to wonder, what if I have that person that is able to do that in my company? So it is an opportunity for internationals to go even beyond just being part of the communities, attending events, participating, but volunteering, executing events, making things to others. Because there you can showcase your skills, who you are, without the language, without being an issue.
And I actually gave this exact tip to someone a few weeks ago who was wanting to become entrepreneur or find a job. She was an international that came a few years to Finland, and she was really wondering like what should she do. And I told her about BoostTurku, like get involved, be part of one of the teams, whichever you feel the most passionate about or aligns best with what you want to do in the future. Start there, get building your own profile, show what you can do, and that can be quite a good stepping stone, I believe.
And it's important to let clear that when you're a volunteer, you might think that you are only doing events for students or only for people. Actually, you are running an entire show.
Yep.
You are talking, you are meeting people, stakeholders in the city, not just in the startup community's ecosystem. You're going further than that because you're meeting people from the city, from International House, from Turku retired, so many different places, and you're that contact person. You kind of have this leverage to contact them, to talk to them.
That's in essence networking.
Yes.
When you are building, let's say, an event where you have guest speakers from companies, then you get to naturally know those people who are you inviting to planning the event together with. That's networking.
Yeah.
Perfect. But I think the bottom line here is that, yes, there's plenty of stuff to do for internationals. You just need to know where to look for it. I think I will be posting some links when you are listening to this. There's going to be links about the stuff we are talking about. Perfect. So it's going to be there. We are not going to explain in depth what's BoostTurku. Or maybe we are. Maybe we are. We have been discussing about Boost. BoostTurku is an entrepreneurial society ran by students, founded by students, for students, but not only for students. BoostTurku welcomes everybody. That's an entrepreneurial society for all the higher education students in Turku. Okay, that's Boost. And BoostTurku is an organization under Boost, which the goal is. Please explain.
So BoostTurku is an initiative under Boost, and the goal is to increase the representation of females in the startup scene of Turku. How they do that is making events that highlight female entrepreneurs by being guest speakers, workshop hosts, or panelists in your events.
Okay. What else do we have? Turku Startup Hub. Could you tell something about that briefly?
So Turku Startup Hub, it's let's say a rebrand of Spark Hub,
which was
2.0, and it's coming up the space. However, we already have events running up for founders, and there the focus is not so much on students. However, we don't do a distinction. Nobody's stopping you in the door. Again,
so everybody's welcome.
Everybody's
Once
welcome.
Again,
yes,
you are welcome.
Yes,
you are welcome. What else do we have? Honorable mentions to International House of Turku, who do a lot of job. Then, because I have this University of Turku shirt on, I need to say that University of Turku has this great place called Konttori. Konttori, it's a community. It has built itself into a community by the people who are there grinding their businesses And Konttori is a place, if you are University of Turku student listening to this, you can get entrepreneurial support. I think this, because in Turku, we always love to compare ourselves to Tampere. I don't know the reasons, but it's very well meaning. But you have seen these communities in both cities. How could you, are there any differences? Is there something that we could learn from Tampere?
I think there is always something both cities can learn from each other. And it's interesting because when I moved to Turku and I did my Google search and I got involved with Boost, my first event of Boost was actually Demo Day. And there I had a showcase of what's happening in Turku. First thing I did was to book bus tickets back to Tampere. I visited Tribe and I talked about what's going on in Turku and how don't we know about what they're doing there.
It's far away, 200 kilometers, far away.
Yes, but it is here. It has been going on. Boost has been going on for a while. And fun enough, in Tribe Tampere, we do have people that are very aware of Boost and love talk about Boost. But one thing that's very clear to me is that in Tampere, the startup ecosystem is much more fragmented. So there is a lot of collaborators, stakeholders, partners across different industries, institutions, associations from the public and the private sector that come together to collaborate to some extent. And that makes Tampere a powerhouse on outreach. When I moved to Turku, I didn't see that outreach as much. As I have mentioned, the promotion is not there, or the marketing of it. It's starting to, it's changing. However, Turku has something that I was trying to know how do I name it? I was thinking like this mystery of Turku, and I was trying to find what
is this going to be positive or negative?
Very positive. Turku has the stakeholders here, there isn't much because the ecosystem isn't as fragmented. But there is certain alignment on understanding of the pipeline for founders, which is so important considering that if you choose startup or entrepreneurship as a career choice, it's very unstable. There is fast change happening all the time. So having this clearer pipeline is already a win. And it's very meaningful because if you are involved with something here in Turku, doesn't matter with what organization, they can identify what's the next step, what can take you further, and they direct you. There is a level of critical thinking that goes on behind the workshops, the events here in Turku that I haven't seen anywhere else. Not just in Tampere, but as well in Helsinki, which has a huge ecosystem. I haven't seen that.
This is very interesting to hear because a typical critique I hear is that what ecosystem in Turku? There's no ecosystem. Everything is like they are working there in their corner, they are working there, which I don't agree with. I always think to myself in similar ways that yeah, we are under different organizations, but Turku, it's a small town. Everybody knows everybody. If I cannot help you, I know my colleagues at Turku Startup Hub, they can help you. My friends at Business Turku, they can help you. Is it about Turku is not that much smaller than Tampere, actually, so it cannot be the difference. But
I think it's a misconception that people have of Turku because I think people wonder what is happening in Turku. They don't know. And when you're here and you start to talk to people and you realize it doesn't matter the organization that the person is representing. You're talking to them, they will direct you maybe to another organization or to another place or to another people. And that shows clarity on the pipeline of what is to take an early stage, an idea to an actual business, to actually start up. So that pipeline of building in Turku, it's actually clearer than anywhere else. And a very example I can give, a very specific example I can give, is that when BoostTurku was created, because there is this clarity, it was easy to place where BoostTurku comes in the pipeline. In the very beginning. Now with the Turku Startup Hub coming up, it's very easy to place in the pipeline. So there isn't much overlapping of service offering. There is in-depth services given to founders and things offered to founders that take them forward.
So like they are not competing against each other. It's like a clear, you start here, and then when you move to a certain stage, then you get services from here. And then when you become bigger or you have these problems, that is the right place. So there is a clear distinction. Okay.
Yes. And the pathway, don't mistake it that a pipeline, the existence of a clear pipeline, the pathway is going to be the same. No, depending on the stage, regardless of the size of your company, you might be redirected to different organizations in that stage. So there is different pathways.
Yeah.
But the pipeline is there. It's the stages of a startup.
And this is actually something that we are building together with the universities in Turku right now. The pipeline exists, but not on paper. We are now building it on paper. There's going to be a cool website. It's going to look like ChatGPT. No AI involved. Just hard information there where you can easily find, okay, I'm doing this now. These are the people who are going to help us. So I think we can give, as residents of Turku, a pat on our backs that, hey, job well done. We have stuff going on here, even though maybe we are worse at marketing than people at Tampere.
Yes.
Probably.
But I think a website like this that clearly maps out the different stages and also collects all the stakeholders under one roof, so to say, and showcase like these can help with these kind of topics, and whereas these are the problems. I think that's going to be super helpful. And for me, always writing stuff on paper clarifies it. So I think that's going to be a huge benefit.
I'm inviting everyone in this room and there, wherever you are listening to this, to try it out. We're going to be piloting it this fall. Current year, 2026. Yes, because you can be in the future also listening to this. That's perfect. So we could say that in Turku, people are more aligned, even though we are under different organizations and umbrellas, we are aligned in the goal of helping.
Yes.
That's nice to hear, even though I said it myself. Do we want to discuss about how these communities have changed along the years?
Well, I haven't been in Turku that long to witness, but from when I moved till now, I can say that the outreach is increasing, marketing and promotion is increasing, new organizations coming up. So I believe that Turku is a really great place to be now as a founder, as an entrepreneur, but it's becoming even a better place to be in the upcoming months.
Yeah, I have to agree. I have seen quite many different stages of the ecosystems and who are involved and how. But right now, especially I think with BoostTurku was a very, very, very welcome new initiative. For me personally, I was waiting for something like that for a few years already. I identified for myself already a few years ago that I need more female founder energy in my life. I need more networks. And I need more examples of women who are entrepreneurs. And so I was looking for that, but I couldn't find it. And so being part of BoostTurku and being part of the mentoring program also really expanded my own networks, mostly on a Finnish level, but also international level. I got connected with 4 or 5 different amazing female entrepreneurs who are helping me now forward with our business and with growing and scaling our company. And yeah, that was something I was looking for a lot, because being a female entrepreneur, I feel like it's very isolating. It feels, you feel very alone because you don't have those role models and examples.
Let's continue on this topic because this is something that we have seen so clearly. When I joined these communities 10 years ago, many of the events, they were like just a boys' club.
Yeah.
The boys were doing their hackathons, whatever. Well, obviously, we had also like people, women, not just boys, not just boys.
Yeah.
That didn't come out right.
Yeah.
But the point being that why is it that, okay, now we all give great praise to BoostTurku. It's a great initiative and we all want to see it continue. Why, do you have an idea? Why is it so that, okay, it was required, BoostTurku was required to get all these wonderful people to join our communities, entrepreneurial communities?
It was a needed initiative for sure. There was a whole untapped audience that wasn't being addressed in the events, in the subjects, and so on, showcased even in what is happening in Turku. And that is not only in Turku. Usually the startup ecosystem is male dominated. And I could give many reasons about
Please give.
BoostTurku and why it has been successful. But I'll summarize, otherwise we are going to have a monologue here. As a previous part of the core team, it was very clear that BoostTurku was not created to segregate genders. That was very clear, and it's still clear in the room when we are thinking about the events, what we want to do. It was never a question like we want to segregate. That's not in the table. What we want to do is highlight female founders. Yeah. And how we do that is that in our events, is it a workshop? In the workshop host is a female entrepreneur or founder. Our panelists are female investors, VCs, entrepreneurs and founders. And the same goes to all events. So we just highlight these people. We put efforts to reach out to those people and highlight them through our events. Now, the female focus is because we have identified from the very start when people start showing up in our events that it wasn't a lack of willing. They weren't like, I don't want to be there, or I can't be there. But they just felt they didn't belong there. And that feeling of belonging wasn't there. Maybe the reason it is, I want to go on their assumptions, what is the reason that they felt not belonging there. But just by the simple fact of highlighting these female entrepreneurs, they felt allowed, they allowed themselves to be in the room and to speak up. And since BoostTurku has been now 9 months on the go, and the numbers of people joining BoostTurku and transition to Boost has increased. And that is amazing to see. That's what BoostTurku exists for, increasing the numbers, not in this bubble. We're not trying to create a new bubble. We are trying to nurture those people that didn't feel they belong and make them feel that they can go to the next step, which is Boost, because they are bigger than BoostTurku. They offer a marathon and startup journey. So they are in-depth programs that are amazing experience to anybody that wants to experience to be an entrepreneur or founder.
This is absolutely perfect. These communities are about people feeling that they belong.
Yeah.
And if we identify that some people don't get the feeling, then of course we need to take steps. And I'm so happy that BoostTurku has taken those steps. I applaud that.
But I would say that Tanja has been a panelist in an event for BoostTurku in the very beginning. And she has been as a mentee in your mentoring program. And I can say that having people like Tanja involved and wanting to be involved and appreciating the existence makes a lot of difference for the team behind the scenes.
So you were a mentee.
Yeah.
You were a mentee just a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
How was that? Because you have been running your business quite a long time now.
Yeah, I've been running my business for 4 years now.
Yeah.
But I only became full-time entrepreneur last autumn. So that's when I kind of became fully entrepreneur.
You can have the label on your head now.
Yeah, exactly. Now I'm like officially an entrepreneur. I don't have any other side hustles or anything else. No full-time job or anything else. Yeah, I think both her and you guys, you were very surprised that I wanted to be a mentee. And maybe someone would have thought maybe I'm gonna be a mentor instead. But I actually, the reason why I applied to be a mentee is because I was at the stage with my company where I felt like I have now worked for 4 years. I have used all of the tools and the skills that I had collected in my earlier career, in my previous career. So I had kind of learned all of these things, and for 4 years I have been applying them to building my business. But now I am at the stage where I feel like I'm running out a little bit of tools, networks, not ideas, but tools mainly. And that's why I wanted to come to this program, which was fantastic. I could recommend it to everybody, because I came in with a very specific need. I came in with the need that I want to expand my own network, and I want to get in touch with more experienced founders who can help me to the next level, who can help me scale our business. But everyone who attended the program were in very different stages in their own journey, and I think the program was very fantastic from that point of view, that the program matched you with the most suitable mentor for you and your situation and your need. And it also created this wonderful community. And every time I think about everyone who was part of that program, even if we just met a few times, but it just created a very strong bond. And I also, after the last dinner, I also met with some of the mentors that were not my mentors, but other people's mentors, because I clicked with them. And so it has really created this like positive atmosphere. I feel like I can ask basically any one of the mentees for help. I can ask any one of the mentors for help. And then I also came in with my own goal, and in a short time I got a lot of done, and the help was tailored to me. So I am very much happy with getting that help, and now I feel nourished, and now I have a lot of new tools, and then maybe I get invited next year to become a mentor and be on the other side. So yeah, it was super valuable to me. I'm extremely happy to get that tool, get those tools, and get that help. And even if I was a little bit further along than who Boost normally helps, so to say.
This is an awesome example of what our communities offer.
Yeah.
The people in all different stages. What else do these communities offer? Okay, this was mentoring. It's maybe an educational event even. But these communities, they typically offer what they typically offer. We have our events. The events, they are the most visible thing, I suppose. Then inside those events, what do we have? Keynotes, panel discussions. These are these kinds of outreach thing.
Like breakfast, mornings.
Yes.
Yes, there is the brunch panels, booster specifically well-being, where we take more about the body and the mind.
Very much social activities. We
Yes.
come together.
Yeah.
We bond with each other.
Yeah.
Yes, but not only, right? Because we have the accelerator programs, or which is a program, I would say, the marathon.
More business oriented.
Execution oriented.
Yeah.
There it's in-depth execution. You go from idea to a prototype in such a short amount of time. That is like the perfect experience to have as when you're questioning if you are built to it or not, because you're gonna go through it. You're gonna go through the ideation, the team build in a very short time. But there is a device, there is coach there. There is this network there for you. The tools are there. You just need to make use of it.
Yeah.
Yes. Perhaps I was trying to think about maybe trying to figure out a list of a hierarchy of what practical stuff our communities actually offer. So that's why I started like listing, okay, yeah, we have these events where you can just pop in,
Yes.
get
The
a
low
sense,
thresholds.
of okay, what's going on? Who are these people? Do I like this? Hey, I like this. Then you can start getting more involved, joining workshops, joining. What would be the most? I would say the acceleration programs are usually the most intense, the maximum level of involvement. 8 weeks of just being super focused.
Building.
I want to be an entrepreneur. I will be an entrepreneur. What else?
You use an entire summer
Yes.
of building on your idea and building your team. And
You are building your future there.
yeah.
I have written here parties, yes. Excursions to Silicon Valley, Tokyo, Stockholm, very interesting. These communities, there's so much going on. I want to go to Tokyo. Let's not discuss that about. But then I have written down here the educational stuff because education is very important. I want to ask you, India, because you participated in educational content. You took part in entrepreneurship workshops that were run by some very talented people. But the question is not about what happened at that workshop. It's a workshop where you learn about, yeah, this is my idea, this is how I validate it, this is how I should plan my business, this is how I pitch. So that's usually the concept of this kind of entrepreneurial workshop. But I want to hear, because you have participated in many of those, what did we do different in Turku?
It's good that you mentioned that the aspects, the subjects that we'll be discussing is usually the same. It's usually going to discuss about validation and productization. Usually are the same. But I think what was different in the one that I have been here in Turku, it was the take of the person hosting the workshop. For sure, there was a certain level of critical thinking that went behind how I'm going to approach this, how I'm going to deliver this workshop. So again, we go back to what Turku said the best, that's the understand of alignment. The person that gave me the workshop understood that, okay.
It was me.
Yes, it was Antti. Antti here, while he was giving the workshop, he was already thinking, what is the next step for you? What is the next step for you? So you could identify that. Back to the clarity of understanding of the pipeline that exists in Turku. And you are providing that information, which is so useful to anybody going through this because you get information thrown from all sides and you get different names of organizations, you don't know where to go. But through the workshop, it was very like, I would say almost like a straight line and in the end branch to different options that I could explore. And another take, I would say that we used Canva, business Canva, Lean Canva, which is widely used in the startup.
It's the default tool.
Yes, it's the default.
It's a piece of paper where you write down that this is my business.
It's a
I'm going to do
framework,
this.
yes. Yeah. And it's often used in these environments, in workshops. But I did enjoy how you took it. You did not accept what the paper says. You deconstruct it and reformulate to us. And while we had a second participant and our peer discussion, you allowing us to have the peer discussion. While you're doing that deconstruction, you're allowing us to input our needs while you're doing that. I think it made the workshop much more for us rather than something I'm just doing, a workshop I'm hosting. So again, we go back to paying attention to the people in the room rather than
personalized.
Yes.
Thinking about who is attending and tailoring a little bit to those people.
And you have mentioned that then as well in the mentoring program, that it was certain level tailored to you.
I didn't know it before I attended. I didn't know how tailored it was going to be. But then afterwards, when I heard everyone's challenges, I was like, whoa, like we have so different challenges. Like some people were still at the idea stage. Some people had 5 ideas and they need to choose between them. Some ideas were already like producing their first pilot, like they were actually manufacturing something. And so we were at very, very different stages, which means that everybody needed such a different type of help and different type of mentor. And I really appreciated the fact that it was
They
so
got it.
tailored. They 100% got it based on the application form that everyone filled in, and based on the application form you kind of already knew you could read behind the words of like, this person needs this type of help.
I would say that this is something we do very well in Turku. Maybe because the communities are smaller than, for example, in Helsinki or Tampere. But in Turku, my experience is that whatever community you join, typically you are being faced as an individual with individual problems and not just being given a lecture that, hey, this is the boilerplate, just follow this. Yeah. No, in Turku, always in the pipeline, wherever you go, we take the time to support you. That's why they are called support services, I suppose. Call to action. What do you want our listeners or viewers to do next? One thing.
Open Google.
Open Google.
And search Turku Startup Hub, more specifically turkustartup.com, and do register to be part of this community coming up. Go to Boost website and check out the events page, because there they don't only include events hosted by Boost, but others as well.
So get involved.
Get involved.
What would Tanja tell us?
I would say the thing that I started with. Go to a space, a physical space with like-minded people. Go there regularly, every day or every week. Go there, show up, have discussions. You don't need to do anything else. Just show up to a place regularly with like-minded people. And that's the simplest step.
Okay, so this is an invitation to Entrepreneurial Hub Konttori, located Hämeenkatu 9, and then starting September, I suppose?
Yes.
Starting September to Turku Startup Hub. Hey, thank you, Tanja. Thank you, India. Thank you for listening to this episode of UNICOM Plus podcast. You can find all the information we have mentioned. We have mentioned a ton of stuff.
So many.
this commodity. Yeah, there's gonna be links. Okay? So, I suppose see you.
Hopefully.
In the communities.
Yes.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I hope to see you.
Yes,
in
me
the communities.
too. I hope to welcome you guys and introduce even further for what we are offering.
Okay, bye.